We're going to talk about some of the really cool products that we've been working on, which is probably part of the reason why you guys are here to hear about the cool new stuff. And we are going to start with stuff that has just come out that maybe you haven't had a chance to get a chance to see. And so that starts, of course, with our very cool and thank you Eagle image here with Uh-Oh Monsters and I'm a Guide. Shauna, do you want to tell us a little about that?
Sure. So Uh-Oh Monsters just came out, and it's basically a set of adventures and a set of additional creatures and places for the Thank You Eagle game. And so there's layers and scares, and that one is just kind of full of really interesting things for the players to do. It's kind of an addition to the Thank You Eagle game, so that if people have played those adventures and they want cool new creatures, you can pick that box up. It has some additional cards and some elements like that. And then, should we talk about I'm a Guide too?
Yep. Cool.
Okay. And so I'm a Guide is also something that we sort of promised in the Kickstarter, but what we did is we made it even bigger and cooler. So we had hit some stretch goals to create this thing called I'm a Guide, which is basically teaching kids how to run their very first game. It's an adventure that kind of walks the kids through it, holds their hand, says here's how you help your players fill out their sheets, just sort of all those very basic things, and it's a very basic, simple adventure. And then we also promised a kind of coloring activity book as part of that. And so what we did is we bundled them all together in this really cool bundle, which you can't see because it's dark. And it has, so inside it now, it has the coloring book, it has the I'm a Guide book, it has Lucy Lawful and the Awful Waffle, which is the original storybook that we did, and it has a short adventure in the back as well. And then it has some stand-ups so that you can use them at the table. And so it's just this kind of whole collection of things. Sorry. Oh, thanks. A whole collection of things for young players who want to get involved, who are sort of beyond the basic box set. And that's going to Kickstarter backers right now. I think we sent the email out last night, and so that won't be available to purchase quite yet, but once Kickstarter backers have it.
It's in our store. It's here in the scan.
It's here in the scan, okay.
In very limited quantities.
Yes,
oh,
yeah,
right.
that's right.
Yeah,
Like 50
a lot.
on our ship notes.
I think that's it.
So next up we have our newest Numenera release, which is called Jade Colossus. In my opinion, this is, if someone came to me and said, well, I've got the Numenera rules, what's the one thing that I should own? That answer has now become, it should be Jade Colossus. And Bruce, who is the designer of this, why don't you tell us a little about what Jade Colossus actually is?
So Jade Colossus, Ruins of the Prior World, full title, and it actually accomplishes quite a few different things. And one of the things we wanted to accomplish was if you just wanted to start a brand new campaign in Numenera, how could we handle that? So there's a step-by-step sort of process of either creating a new campaign or transitioning your current campaign to this location we call the Jade Colossus. The Jade Colossus itself is this prior world ruin which popped up out of the earth in Navarine, right? And the city that was already there kind of was partially destroyed. About 5 years have passed, and people have started to come to this crazy, unexplainable, inscrutable place where you're as equally likely to come out with some crazy bit of Numenera as never come out again, or warped or changed in some unfathomable way. We also, one of the things that we thought would be really cool in this book would to really spend a lot of time creating a system whereby we could actually generate ruins of prior worlds for yourself. So we have the Numenera rune mapping engine, we call it, which is basically, there's about a third of the book is devoted to creating ruins in a random but sort of also guided fashion. So it's just like 30-some pages of there's like an overall guide and a system of some things, like if you have matter leaks or energy leaks or vaults or just weird chambers or integrated machines. And each of these tables, there is actually one table that is 200 entries on one table, right? And you mix these things together, right, and you create these really interesting ruins. And of course, you can use it to. We haven't been able to map the entire Jade Colossus because it's huge, right? It's several miles in diameter. But we have pre-keyed areas in it which you can go to. But then there's some routes that are known, some routes that are unknown. If you want to map a new route through the Jade Colossus, you could use the rune mapping engine to do so to try and find your way. Or you can create any weird rune of your own choice in the ninth world, or frankly, anywhere. We also have a smattering of other runes in there that are just like other strange runes of the ninth world. Some new creatures, some new foci, some organizations. It's actually, it's for a short book of like 144 pages. It's pretty packed with information.
Yeah, and I think what's really cool about it is it's not just a random dungeon generator. The things you make will be very, very ninth world. Because all of Numenera's weirdness is deeply baked into it.
So next up is a product that is coming out this fall. It is called Unmasked. It is the third of the 3 standalone campaign settings that we launched with the Worlds of the Cypher System Kickstarter. We had Predation, which came out recently, and Gods of the Fall, which came out last year, and we're finishing up with Unmasked. Unmasked is a really interesting book that combines sort of psychological horror and superheroes. You play basically teenagers. It's set in the 1980s. And you acquire superpowers by donning these mysterious masks that might not only just give you powers, might actually change your personality, might have their own personality sort of embedded within them. And so there's a lot of fun stuff in this book that is, kind of harkens back to a mixture of superheroes and dark horror and like those 80s teen movies like Breakfast Club and things like that. So it's a really interesting mashup. Written by Dennis Detweiler. We're really, really happy with it. We've got a lot of great art coming for it, and we are, what's that?
And in the process of finalizing editing.
Right. No, actually I was going to ask what the actual release date was.
November.
November. It's coming in November. So take a look for that, and then that will finish that trilogy of campaign settings for the Cypher System. Oh right. We've also been working very, very hard on a product that was launched by a Kickstarter at the end of last year called Invisible Sun. I am not going to talk at length about Invisible Sun in this particular seminar because we have a whole seminar on Saturday morning that will be devoted to it. But we are very, very happy with how Invisible Sun is coming along. It is a game of surreal fantasy. It is what we like to think of as a very deluxe game. Comes in a big, mysterious black cube filled with all kinds of cool stuff. There's over 1,000 cards in that product. And as you can see, some really kind of amazing art. It's a darker product than we have done probably since Numenera itself, and so you wouldn't want to have your No Thank You Evil group probably. But very, very happy with how it's coming out. We've been playtesting it, had outside playtesters working on it now for months and months. Got a lot of great feedback. And that will come out at the very beginning of next